Welcome back to a new video, and somewhere around here you can see my last made video. It was about me talking about why Sony should stop supporting the PlayStation Vita. And I think a lot of people misunderstood me that in my opinion I don't want the PlayStation Vita to go away, but I was just talking about why Sony themselves, for the interest in Sony themselves, should stop supporting the PlayStation Vita as of now. Of course, maybe that will change in 1 or 2 years. But as you can see above, this is my Resident Evil 6 impression. Some of you guys did a good job at checking out the hint I got in the last video, and of course it was Resident Evil 6 standing right there. Okay, Resident Evil 6. First up, I want to say that I don't read reviews. I don't give one monkey ass shit about some paid website making some shitty bullshit biased bot review. I don't give a shit about those IGN games, but I don't give a shit. But I've been seeing, of course, on forums that people were saying, oh my god, Resident Evil got bad reviews and the game sucks and this and that. So I was like, okay, I wanted to buy the game because I'm still a Resident Evil fan and I love Dead Space. Resident Evil 5 was good, but I didn't really like the style of the enemies, of the Javo, doesn't really matter. But I had this game weirdly on Amazon. It was a deal for only 28 euros. I just had to pick it up, and also a friend of mine bought the game and he showed it at my place and was like, what the hell is everybody talking about? This game is pretty awesome. So I had the game, I finally played it. I played the mercenary mode. This game has 4 main campaigns. I will just call them chapters. 4 main chapters, with each chapter is both a different playstyle, that's what they're saying, and also a different story and different main characters. But every or 3 chapters has 2 main characters, and I think only the last chapter has 1 main character. But all the 4 campaigns, chapters, they story-wise connect with each other. So maybe in the first chapter, that is with Leon and with Helena, you'll come across Chris Redfield and Pierre. And when you actually play the second chapter with Chris Redfield and Pierre, you have the same scene, but of course this time you'll see Leon and Helena, where in the other chapter you saw Chris Redfield and Pierre. I hope you understand what I'm saying. I bet you do. So I completed the first campaign with Leon and Helena. I absolutely freaking loved it. It reminded me of the last Resident Evil game I played besides Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 3, Nemesis. It had, of course, clunky controls, but it has this, I don't know, this weird atmosphere that's pretty intense, really awesome, and you really had to check on your ammo. Where in Resident Evil 5, I had the feeling you were just, you know, if you have your shotgun and machine gun, you're overpowered. Where in, you know, the Leon campaign, I really thought that you had to check out your ammo. I first played it on normal, and there were a lot of instances where I just run out of ammo, and then you only have your knife. And this time melee combat is a little bit more advanced. I definitely like melee combat. It's a shame I couldn't melee combat or melee kill every zombie, but then it will kind of break the game. So it's really good that they had some kind of stat that you can only do it a couple of times, but I still liked it. And because normal actually was pretty hard for me, I'm sorry, it was pretty hard. I played the campaign again, or started over. I think when I started over it was like at the last, at the campus, the kind of the last part. I started over on easy, and the easy is actually not that easy. It's still easy. When you die, you don't die that fast, you get a little bit more ammo, but it's still not actually easy like Like Dead Space is uneasy, you know, that's really easy. I didn't run out of ammo that much, but you still had to pay attention to what you do. It's not like when you have your shotgun, you can just shoot everybody. It's not like that. You have to wait for it for more bigger and more powerful enemies, where the normal zombies, luckily there are normal zombies. I like normal zombies. I don't like Javo, whatever what they called. Normal zombies, you can just melee them, or of course do a headshot. But it's kind of weird and not weird at the same time that you cannot actually one kill a zombie with a headshot. It's weird because you have to, you know, most of the zombies you have to kill them in the brain, they're dead. It's not weird because they pretty much are already dead. So, you know, it's obvious you cannot do a headshot because the zombie is already dead. But I think you have to like headshot him like 2 or 3 times in a row and his head will pop off and this and that. So I really like the Leon campaign. It reminded me of the old Resident Evil games. The story was really interesting. I really like the story. Where when I started playing the Chris Redfield campaign, because of course I'm not gonna do like first chapter 1 and then chapter 3. No, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and when you complete those chapters you unlock the last campaign, the last chapter. So I played with Chris Redfield and I mean the combat is well done. I've been hearing kind of a lot of people complaining that it's too modern, they try to change it up too much, but I like this type of system. It works, just like with Dead Space. In my opinion it works, but Dead Space has done a much better job at doing it, but it doesn't matter. I like the combat in the Chris Redfield. It's more Gears of War style. That's the point I don't like. I mean, so the gameplay itself, the combat is good, but I don't like it that it's Gears of War styled. And of course I also mean that the combat and the gameplay style in the Leon campaign is good. Just the gameplay mechanic, it's well made. I don't like the Gears of War style compared to the more Resident Evil with Leon, because you fight against the Javo, and the Javo are more like stronger human beings, just like in Gears of War, but they're demons, kind of demon-like. So I don't know, it reminds me of playing not like a little SOCOM game, but then faster. It reminds me more of Army of Two, it kind of does. And I don't like it. I'm at the moment playing in chapter 4, I think chapter 4, I'm at chapter 4. And also story-wise, it's actually not that interesting compared to the first chapter, the first campaign with Leon and Helena. I do remember though that Chris Redfield is from Resident Evil 5 and I didn't really like that too. And where the hell is the other guy, the girl that was in Resident Evil 5, where the hell is she? Doesn't really matter. So I don't like, it's not a bad chapter, but I just don't like the Gears of War styled gameplay. Now graphically, when I first played, I was like, it's kind of unimpressive. I thought that Resident Evil 5 looked better, and from my knowledge, Resident Evil 5 did look better. But definitely when you're at the city stage and when you're in town and the catacombs, I was definitely impressed. Definitely in China, that was absolutely amazing. It looked great, even though they used a lot of buildings, they just copied a lot of buildings. There was this like big round tower, and it's like on one side of the map you see two of them, and at the other side there are also 2 of them. That's kind of replicating and puts you out of the game where you think you're in China and all of a sudden you like see copied backgrounds. Doesn't really matter, I still liked it. I like the feeling. I haven't been able to play, of course, the other chapters, so I won't be talking about those. But I've been hearing that the chapter with Jake and Bridget, the other girl, what was her name, doesn't really matter, is more like when you're getting chased after in Resident Evil 3, after Nemesis, that it's more like that. So I'm definitely looking forward to doing that, because those were the most exciting moments in Resident Evil 3, when Nemesis were after you and you're pretty much trying to find out where you can hide safely. Now, besides of all those things, I've also played the mercenary mode. I liked the mercenary mode in Resident Evil 3 because you could unlock things to play in the main game. With Resident Evil 5, I didn't really like it because, again, I don't like the Javo. I just didn't like the game that much. But here, you just can play against some normal zombies with the mercenary mode, but then with the good gameplay mechanic of the Gears of War styled Chris Redfield and Leon and Jake. So most of the time I am playing with Chris Redfield. I just like machine guns, I don't know why. It's exciting, it's action-packed. I don't like the music they use. They use more action-packed music and I don't think it fits with the game and the environment. But I absolutely love the mercenary mode. And you know why I love it even more? It's in split screen. Also the main campaign, the entire game can be played split screen. That's absolutely awesome. I give much credit, much respect and credit to Capcom. I know they've also done it with Resident Evil 5, but it was kind of annoying to set up a split screen game. But just in Resident Evil 6 it's so easy, just put in the mode, split screen or single screen. I absolutely love that they've done that. There are not a lot of games that have a full campaign. If Dead Space would have that, that was absolutely awesome. And Dead Space 3 is like with 2 players, so I think they're gonna do that. I'm like definitely looking forward to that, even though I'm not gonna buy it at launch. But okay, the game itself. So a lot of respect for the split screen. The gameplay is good. Graphics are also just standard last, the end of generation graphics. This is how every game at least should look. I'm not saying every game should look like Uncharted, Gears of War, Halo 4, but definitely a little bit up to par against Resident Evil 6. The music also in the main game is absolutely outstanding. I love the music. Really, when you're playing the first chapter with Leon, I won't say it makes you scared or this and that, but just the music fits perfectly with the environment and with the events that's unrolling and in the thing you're in. So with that being said, there's a lot of content in the game. One of the things that I do like, but then again they should have done that better, is the skill system. With both the main game, for every character, or the skills are every skill is for every character. So with both the main game and the mercenary mode have their own skill sets, even though they're pretty much the same. You can do up to 3 skills, I think, at the moment, and you can do like firearms get stronger, you get more points of killing a zombie, you can kill a zombie better, you can kill a Javo faster, your defense increases, your firepower of that weapon increases, the ammo pickup of that weapon increases, this and that. So there's a lot of possibilities to build your own character, and when you level those skills, some of those skills can be leveled up, you do feel you're getting stronger and stronger. What I don't like is that you don't actually see how much skill points you'll get. Sometimes enemies will drop skill points like 100 or 50 or 4000, but for the game itself, to complete a chapter, to complete a campaign, you don't really see how much skill points you get. If you do see it, please leave it in the comments below, because then I guess I missed it. But I would rather have them using a type of XP system where you just level up, just like in the first person shooters like Call of Duty and stuff, where you just level up, where you kill an enemy, you get experience points. I would have rather that they input that kind of system, because I think, in my opinion, that would greatly increase the value of the game, in my opinion. With the mercenary mode, it's absolutely the same, but a little bit different and less skill points, but still the same. and it takes up a long time to get every skill point to every maximum level. It will take up a long time. There are unlockable characters, unlockable campaigns, unlockable weapons, unlockable outfits, unlockable unlockable mode called the agent mode, where you actually play as the zombie in someone else, his campaign. That's absolutely awesome. And the agent mode also have skill sets, so there is so much content. There's also unlockable levels for the mercenary mode, even though they're combined only 3. So overall, to be honest guys, and you don't have to take my word for it, I love Resident Evil 6. I have absolutely no problem with it. Sure, I don't like the Chris Redfield campaign, but it doesn't really matter. It's still a solid mechanic. It's still good gameplay. It's not like the game's broken and that campaign is utterly bad. It's not. I just don't like the Gears of War style gameplay in a Resident Evil game. I love Leon. I haven't played the other campaigns. I absolutely love the mercenary mode. I love split screen mode. I love the graphics. The sound are awesome instead. Or yeah, no, only the mercenary mode music is a little bit weird, but I love the game. This game is fantastic. To be honest, this is one of the best new releases I've been playing this entire year. And I do have some other games, but you'll see about that. So, like I said, Resident Evil 6, €60 price, worth it? I don't know, at the moment, no game is worth $60 or euros. But if you could get this game around 40 to 29.99, this is a great game, a lot of content, and don't believe the reviews. Don't believe the reviews. Believe me, your friend klaudkil, this game is awesome. Leave in the comments below, do you have Resident Evil 6? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? And if you do disagree, if you think that this game sucks, please leave it in the comments below. Why? What is so bad about this game? I just don't see it. I love the game. Of course, I will see you next time.